Do you need me to hit it? You remember where the button is?
I already
There we
have.
go.
Good morning, everyone. Today is our Take Action training, and I am Julie.
And I'm Jess, and this is our 37th Take Action training.
Isn't that amazing? Like, really. So it was kind of like pie in the sky. We're going to do one every week. We're going to show up. So, I mean,
I was like, yeah.
It's like, that's going to be hard. It actually has been hard.
It is hard.
Today was not today. This one. So poor Jess. So this one's been a.
Good morning, Tara.
We've been busy.
Oh yeah, Carrie. So how about that Facebook outage? Anyone notice? Anyone feel like their business was over for the day, or just had to put everything on pause?
Whew. Exactly. So we've talked about email marketing in the past in TATs. And that's a super important thing, because things do go wrong in social media land from time to time. So you don't need to have all your eggs in one basket. Obviously, social media is super important to us, but in that funnel, your Facebook or your social media funnel, you want to be funneling people into email so you have another way to correspond with them. So whether that be TikTok, Snapchat, email is the most important courier of.
So let me tell you how we made lemonade out of lemons. For those of you who read my emails or our emails yesterday, we have had a LinkedIn group for a long time and just have kind of been struggling with getting people in it. And now I think we have over 30 people in it, which is pretty good for a LinkedIn group. So all of that because we directed them there in our email whenever we could not communicate via Facebook. So that was kind of a last minute thing that I'm kind of glad we took initiative on, and winning, at least something positive came out of it.
That's right. And we were able to email all of you to say, hey, Facebook and Instagram are down. A lot of people didn't know, like Carrie and a lot of people, because they messaged in, my posts are failing. Sorry, there's a global outage. So, yep. Hey, Dawn.
I love it, Dawn. Innovate, overcome, adapt. You could have been Marines. So funny story. I actually wanted to go into the military, and I wanted to be a Marine because I was that kind of girl when I was 17 years old. That's awesome. My dad said, no, I had to go into the military. I had no choice, and you will not go to the military. I'm sending you to college. So that's what I did. And I got a degree, and then I'm not using it.
You are using it. Everything in life prepares us for where we are today. And you would not be the excellent copywriter.
It's true.
Everyone chime in and say whatever.
Well, my degree's in international economics. So business is business to some extent. And I have to say, this is a whole lot more fun than sitting in some 80th floor office from 8 to 5 working for IBM as number 450,000. So,
right. Yep.
Hi, Charisse.
All right.
That was a good intro.
It was. So today's topic sort of goes hand in hand a little bit with yesterday's outage. A little bit. We can parlay that in there. We're going to talk about how to get referrals. Obviously you can do that on social media, but you can do it, through word of mouth, through email, lots of ways. So we're going to talk about why that's important. Obviously it takes a lot to get a client, customer, patient. I don't care what type of business it is. It takes a lot more effort to get the first one than it does to get, subsequent or to resell to that next one. So asking for a referral is an art, and you should get really comfortable with it. Last week, we got comfortable with promo and sales. Now we're going to get comfortable asking for referrals. So you've done a great job for someone else. You might as well get passed along and do a great job for someone else.
Exactly. And yes, Jen, thanks for the reminder. We are recording, so we're prepared to put this in the Take Action training program. After we finish, let's start out with a riveting statistic, shall we? This was good. When I read this, I was like, this is why we're doing this one. So, did you know that when a person is referred into a program or service, they are 3 times more likely to continue using that product and service after 90 days than someone who was just a cold lead? So, I hope that gets you excited. It gets me excited. I realize it's just black and white text, but that means that if you can get a referral, that person is going to stay with you for much longer because they already come in being, I would almost say, like a super warm client who already has that expectation of tremendous value from you because someone told them that you were worth your salt.
Exactly. And that's hard today to stand out in a sea of, your own social media. It's just hard to carve your way out there. But if you've got someone being a fangirl for you or, whatever, that's referring you, that sets you up for success for a lot longer. In many cases, much longer than 90 days, obviously, depending on whatever we have a lot of network marketers here. So imagine, you get that first sale and then after that, they become that client. So it is residual type income for a lot of you.
Exactly. And I think it's very easy. Y'all know me and these little, that first sentence that I put in the script there, that's always a really good takeaway for me. Word of mouth marketing is a powerful tool and you need to be using it. It's so easy to get in that mindset. It's almost maybe kind of tangential or complementary to shiny object syndrome. But I know when I first started my business, I just wanted to grow my client list. And it was at the detriment of the people who were already with me. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say I didn't ask for the first referral for probably the first year that I was in business or more. So we're here to tell you not to do that. That is not the socially inclined way or the best practice to do it. You should be asking for referrals no matter how tiny you are, no matter how recently you started. It's always a great time to be getting referrals and to be asking for people to refer you.
Right. And a lot of times it's these little things in business that are so profound that will drive your business forward that aren't spending time on or haven't even thought about, oh, yeah, I probably should ask. So that is what makes the world go round online and through email and growth.
Exactly. So shoestring budget, anyone, sometimes I'm a little staggered at what we spend on Facebook ads, but you don't have to have Facebook ads whenever you are a baby business. Because that is where, if you are a small business, if you don't have a Facebook ad, but a really small business, we're all small businesses here, but if you're like a baby business on a shoestring budget, referrals, I will tell you, are free, mostly free, unless you implement some of the things we're going to talk about in the form of, like small tokens of appreciation for people giving you referrals. But they are free. They are much lower cost than something like a cold outreach mechanism like a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or any kind of ad like that.
Exactly. And a lot of times we put that in terms of what it costs to get a new client. Well, when it's a referral, it costs $0. And that's a big deal, because then you've got someone else that you can ask. That I think Deanne said she just got 3 referrals up from one client. That's amazing. So whatever it took, so it's like a snowball. So once you get that ball rolling, you may not have to have any other type of ads, even if you do them. So it's a great place to be.
Right. And if you were reading the emails, then you know that we're calling this one the art of asking. So that brings up the middle of the page right there. When was the last time you actually asked? You said those words. We used, do you know anyone who'd benefit from my coaching in this example? But that could be literally anything. So Jen could ask to the manager of the supermarket who just accepted 100 bottles of her elderberry syrup, do you know anyone else who could benefit from selling my elderberry syrup in their store? Or you could do that with Sarah and her decorating and organization business. I have so enjoyed helping you with this space. Do you know anyone else who could benefit, or who needs to clear the clutter, or who is wanting a beautiful look for their living space for some upcoming holiday parties? Connecting it that way is a great way to keep it from sounding desperate, which you'll see I mentioned that later in this resource, because that is the biggest objection we hear for people who don't want to ask for referrals, is that is it seems desperate to them, because maybe you've had someone who did it in a desperate way in the past.
But when done correctly, the person that you're referring or passing along is like becomes a super fan. Like they are excited to be you referred to. So it's amazing process once you get it going in the right direction. And some people think, oh, I'm already, at the bottom of my invoice, it says, if you know of anybody, or at the end of their email, whatever. We're talking about being a little bit more personable about it. In a lot of cases, when you see the same thing over and over, it's not as impactful as if you truly ask. So it's the art of the ask and getting personal with it.
Exactly. Because your business card, it is a referral mechanism, but it's not going to go near as far as in that example, Jen standing there with someone who just shook her hand and said, thank you for these bottles. We'll let you know when we need more. That's very different. That moment, that connection that you have with that person, than it is with, here's my business card, when you happen to see it 6 months from now when you're going through your wallet to throw away clutter. Give me a referral. That's just not going to be near as fruitful for you. So next page. We here? All right.
It's not a me one today. All right. So we're going to give you 6 non-desperate ways to ask for referrals. So again, we just talked about, we didn't want to seem desperate for it, but there are, when someone is super happy with your work, then they are much more inclined to yes, give you someone else or pass you along. So you want to ask directly.
Exactly. And let me insert right there. Let's go back to, for those of you who are with us, sorry, Julie, to interrupt you. I have not dropped the PDF yet. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be all off on a tangent here, because I'm going to do that real quick. Here is the PDF. All right. So for those of you who are with us with the Get Comfortable with Selling TAT, and if you don't have that, and that sounds like something you need, you can go get the replays. But we talked a lot about why you might be feeling uncomfortable, or why you might be holding back with those sales conversations. So if this one is hard for you, I would like to implore you to give a little thought as to how much value you're delivering. Because a lot of times, if you're not, if you know it's not worth the money, or if you're not showing up in the way that you want to be, because maybe you're distracted, or maybe you're pulled in other directions, then that is often a root cause of the fear of asking. So get right with your value, get right with your offer, and then start with these 6 ways to ask for referrals.
Exactly. We talk about mindset all the time and being in the right mindset. Sales is one of those that you need to work on daily, as far as knowing your self-worth when it comes to whatever you're providing, knowing your product. So I loved last week's, actually, the last 2. All right. So here's an example. I'm just going to read it word for word. So just because you need to hear this is a good way to do this. So, hey, Dan, just wanted to let you know that we really enjoyed working with you. I was so inspired by how hard you worked and what you accomplished. I'm sorry. It's this
lighter. Yeah, it's lighter. Sorry.
Maybe my I don't want to be down here and reading it. So sorry about that. Work with people like you makes creating custom marketing strategies a real joy. Oh, see what we did there? Or see what Jess did there? Shout out to Deanne Joy. I love how you bring your personal brand with you wherever you go. I know that really makes a difference in the kind of clients you attract. You know, we have a few spots open in our Social in 60 coaching program where we walk a new client through the brand building process. I wonder if you can think of any friends or colleagues who could benefit from working with me. I'd love to introduce you. If you do, thanks, Julie. So see how that is not so, you know, it's kind of like the whole sales thing. Like you lead with the compliment, you know, I mean, you want to be truly from a place of authenticity with that. So obviously, sorry, I'm reading.
Yes.
I'm so glad you asked. Live. Hi, Deanne. So, but see how that can be effective. So, I mean, it's just as simple as asking. I mean, people, when you have done a great job for them, they can think of people that could benefit from your services. It's not their job. Their job is just to think of who might help. It's your job, again, to go back to the last 2 weeks of TAT and then sell them on that service. So, but getting the referral is the hardest part.
So to all of you on here, I just want to, and to everyone watching the replay, obviously, think about how different that feels from I'm trying to reach my minimum sales goal so that I can stay at my rank before the end of the month. Do you know anyone who needs this or anyone who's willing to buy this?
Right.
Because I can't tell you. Do you hear how terrible and how desperate that sounded? We see that all the time. And my guess is that you see that come across your news feed between the 25th and the end of every month if you are friends with anyone who is in a direct selling situation. So I want you to be really careful about doing that because I understand how important, I'm speaking specific, you know me, I'm the direct sales person, but I'm speaking specifically to the direct salespeople because we serve so many of you guys, and we know it can succeed, and we really want you to succeed. Don't ever mention reaching your sales goals when you are trying to ask for referrals. Don't ever mention your sales goals when you're trying to ask for referrals. That's not how you do it.
Like, can we guess why? So if you don't know, sales is about the customer and not you. So when you are asked, like, so at 100%, that is all about you. You're trying to get to the next level, trying to whatever. So there's a difference in running a sale and running a promo to do that. But again, it's in the delivery. So I love that.
Yeah, we see that a lot, and not necessarily from people who have come into our community, but you know, we are well networked. Let me put it that way. So we have a lot of folks, you know, who are just kind of sitting out there. But you know, it's so much easier to come at it from a standpoint. So turn that around. What would be a good way to go with it is to talk about how you've served so many more people this month, and you have more to give. If you know anyone else who is looking to do this, let me know.
Exactly. We've accomplished this, and this. Mm-hmm. Who do you know that might need this as well?
Exactly. Oh, yes, Jessica, they don't want to know about your sales goals. Exactly. And so the worst thing is whenever these people get, you know, like that, you will sometimes get pity purchases, you know, people who really want to see you succeed. So they purchase. And I've even done it for one or two people in the past, you know, when they're like, I'm really close to my sales goal. But that's because I want to see businesses succeed. It's not because I necessarily agree with their tactics. I know that that's not going to be, they're going to have an even harder time meeting next month's sales goals if they're doing that to try and reach this month's.
Exactly. All right. Yep. Dawn, we're getting there. You're on to it.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I'll read it. In a previous photography business, at point of sale, we traded small discount for 5 to 10 referrals. Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, next page. Sorry, Julie. I realized you're waiting on me.
You can. All right. So number 2, provide value. All right. We touched on that a minute. We touch on that all the time. All the time. Always lead with value. You cannot go wrong with leading with value. So in this case, is an article that a client would find entertaining? Is it a case study or story useful to your clients? Your new product or service that could complement your solutions clients' needs. All right. So think of things that would initiate that conversation or initiate that and lead into, and then again, we're going back to asking.
For sure. And that's exactly what it is. So instead of just coming out with a, hey, I'd like a referral, instead you're sharing something that they're going to benefit from. And then saying something, if you know anyone, I put the PS here, so you can read that and you can adjust it to whatever fits for your business. I'll do Jen in Elderberry because I feel like a lot of people will think that's hard. PS, maybe she shares an article that is complementary to strengthening your immune system. Okay, so that's the theme of it. And then she says something in the PS, like, PS, if you want to navigate the cold and flu season a little better, and you know someone who could use immune boosting, can you say immune boosting? I forget. That might be the one thing you can't say. But whatever it is you can say, put that in there and then just ask for a forward or, forward this email and let them know I'm in business.
And how easy is that? And how non-salesy, if again, we go back to how, that feels, that is a non-salesy way. And, most of the time that is received so well. Oh, immune supporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
If awesome. If you or anyone needs a little bit of extra immune support this cold and flu season, send them my way.
Yeah,
in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. So, and that's perfect. Hopefully you can see the difference in just, All right. So another is to start asking before the project is over. So, and we're saying project in this, so this can be any point of the sales cycle, but just in the middle. So like what we do a lot of times is service-based. So in the middle. So that's when the client is the happiest most of the time. So you want to catch them in your sales cycle of whenever is appropriate, when they're happy, when they are, you have just delivered something great for them. They're on a high, you're on a high, and then they're going to be really happy with giving you a referral or passing your name along.
Pumped, fired up.
Exactly. Exactly. So after a little win, okay, so network marketing. So I have a friend. So y'all might have seen, if we're friends on Facebook, I shared a post for someone. I could do that. Like I could do
every minute of the day.
I could do those for thousands, but I did for this client because I use the product. Don't be sending me all your stuff to refer, but I did this one, and then so a lot of people saw it and took note of it, and then we're all asking me, hey, does it really work? Yes, for me, it really worked. So I was in a place to happily refer people that I knew that struggle with what that was, and they were happy to get my referral. Who's your friend? How can I get in touch with them? That win-win is what you're looking for. So, and that's before, I had used it a little bit. So that was in the middle. Okay. I had gotten them in.
So I just want to interject. I know we don't usually take questions until the end, but I like Jen's here. She asks for reviews at the same time. Should I keep them separate? Julie, what's your take on that?
We almost lumped reviews in here because they're so similar, but in a little bit different. So I think if you do it, I think you need to test, because if you do it, I feel like you're going to get an either or.
Yeah.
So they're going to do, they're either going to write you a review and feel like they've done enough. So I like it separate. It also gives another point of contact to lead with value again and keep your sales cycle going. I don't care if you're in whatever business you're in. If you can resell to that person and keep that going, having, even without the agenda leading with value there, you're getting to touch them again. So I would do it in two separate things.
That was like $300 worth of advice right there. I really hope everyone was listening, because what Julie just gave out, I could tell she was in like, this is good stuff mode. And it was. It's true. Either or is definitely.
To follow up with that, see what I did there? The art in the follow-up, the art of the follow-up. So it's not just making that first sale, it is, staying in contact with that client. So even if your job is over, that client might have something else that you can do for them. Exactly. So staying in contact. So that gives you, even though it's self-serving, it's seemingly self-serving, that is a way to stay in contact. And if you lead with value in that contact, then that is just helping your sales cycle.
Love it. Very great perspective. All right, let's make it personal. I think I've already kind of covered this earlier, but the best way to seem kind of desperate or make it feel icky is to have it be canned. And worst case ever is to have it look like you literally copied and pasted from something that you bulk copy and paste from. See that also all the time in network marketing, regrettably, because they're trying to send 500 people a message in their messenger. So instead of sending a broad and generic referral request, do it custom to each one. It may seem tedious, but you don't need 500 referrals. Not all at once, at least. You need 5, 10, maybe 15 over the course of, the first month when you kind of start ramping this up. But if you remember that first statistic, that is going to have a huge snowball effect for your business, because those people who are referred are more likely to stay.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say feast or famine is a big deal in a lot of businesses because of the way the sales. So I love sales. But the way the sales cycle works, you're in the mode of sell, and then it's produce. So then you're starving again, and then it's, oh my gosh, I've got to sell. So we've done a previous TAT on the sales or the interaction strategy and things that you need to do on a daily basis. This can be one of your things. Find a natural way to ask for a referral from a few people. And if you make it a daily thing and you make it personal, then that is going to keep your sales cycle from being up and down and up and down. Okay, so make this a daily or weekly or whatever. Depends on what you're selling as to how often you can do this, but it needs to be something that you work on consistently. So consistency is key with this. So
exactly. Good example there. If your client mentioned that they could use a graphic designer down the road and you happen to know a good graphic designer, then, make that introduction, because if nothing else, it shows you were listening. And people, here you go. I'm about to unlock the key to all of your success.
I haven't said it yet.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'll let you do that. People like to know they were heard. People like to know they were heard, because think about it. Even I'm bad at this, and I work with people. I've had to really, really work on my listening skills, because I am so, I like to sound like I know what I'm talking about whenever I respond. So a lot of times before someone's even done talking, I'm thinking about my response. And I'm not saying that as a bash on me. That is the human condition. Almost everyone I know does that. So back up a minute. Anything you can do that makes you sound like, or that proves that you are listening is always such a good plus for anyone you're doing business with or anyone you're trying to cultivate a relationship with. So people like to be heard.
Yeah. And just one little quip, 90% of sales is listening. So like in a sales call, so depending on what you're doing, if you're in a sales call and you're doing all the talking, then this is bad. You are not listening.
Doing it right.
Yes. So you are listening to what their problem is, and then you're offering a solution. So I don't care what you're selling, but that's how it works. So lead with listening.
We did that in the coal company too.
All right. So, all right, here you go, Don. Offer incentives. So Don said earlier that at the time of sale, he asked for 5 or 10 referrals and offer exchange for a discount. So there are 1,000 ways, 10,000 ways that you can do this. Find something that's pertinent. It can be an add-on incentive like lip balm to your skincare. It can be a 15-minute consult. It can be, I don't care what it is, but set some type of incentive that would just push them a little further into wanting to help. Again, people are all about themselves. They don't really.
That sounded terrible, but
I know, I don't really know how to say that. That's in a good, positive way.
It's a survival mechanism.
The incentive to do it in some cases because society is so fast paced now, and they're not really thinking about it. And I wanted to make a point about make it personal. That one in that flow of talking. So I have a friend. So I have a friend that anytime she's talking to anyone about anything, and if something comes up, she's like, "Oh, I have a friend that does that. You would love her. Please call her." She probably refers 20 people a day on different things. So number one, she's setting herself up as kind of the go-to of, who to ask for referrals. But it's such a great way to lead with, in her case, lead with value for her friends. Oh, I know about this. You would benefit from calling whoever. So she's like the hero. So to bring it back, if you start referring other people, again, obviously we want referrals, but if you start referring other people, then it will create that value that you're leading with. All right.
Exactly. And so I just want to reiterate what Dawn said. Self-interest is not negative. We're not saying like this to be all like, oh, people just are so self-absorbed. No, it's just, so we're here to help you build your business, get more sales. In this one, find more referrals, get more referrals, a steady flow of referrals. And to do that, you have to understand a little bit about human psychology and the way the human mind works. And that's how it works. We evolved as a species because of our self-interest, because of our self-absorbedness. We would, I'm trying to think of like a Paleolithic example, but like, you pick up your child and you run and maybe not worry about the other family because you're trying to make sure that you survived that mammoth attack.
That's a good one.
Mammoths didn't really attack, probably. I don't know. But I think you understand. I hope everyone can chuckle at that example. Like, we're not saying that's a bad thing. We're saying that the more you understand it and the more you embrace it and understand why people act the way they do, the more you can leverage that and respond in a way that makes you an incredible salesperson without feeling salesy.
Right. And there's going to be, we didn't put this in the document, but you have to ask, but just because you ask doesn't mean they're going to do it. It's like writing a review. You can ask for 50 reviews and you might get 10. It's just a human nature thing, and it's a numbers thing. It's always a numbers thing when it comes to sales. And just asking for this referral needs to be part of that. And you need to be aware and not get discouraged if you ask 3 people and you don't get a referral. You just have to push through and keep doing it in a value-led way. So I think setting what I was talking about earlier is if you start referring other people, it puts you in that place of the networker, and it's easier to ask for the referral then. And when you're always leading with value with other people, it's a great symbiote. I don't know what that word is. Symbiotic thing. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, there's so much psychology, but I don't want to make people sound bad, but there is a lot going on today. So just because you ask for one, the referral doesn't mean they're going to write right back and do that. So
exactly. Did we do number 6 yet?
Not yet.
All right. So be a nice person. And to do that, recognize and thank any and every person who gives you a referral. Every referral source, figure out how you're going to do it. Make sure it happens. It's like, kind of business 101. Leaders eat last.
Yep. And it can be a hand thank you note. That is a lost art today. It can be just a quick, and again, this sort of piggybacks on the incentives, but after the fact, like they don't have to know about it. You can send an incentive as a thank you. So a $5 Starbucks card or a $5 Amazon card. I mean, that seems small, but as the person on the receiving end, that is a big deal. You took time to thank them for it.
Exactly. This is not, number 6 is not saying set up a referral program where you send people part of like a little bit of the cut. This is little things, gestures that are kind of, like Julie said, a lost art in the world we live in today. And they are just so, even a holiday card. I like that. That's like virtually free. maybe postage, but it's going to take you the time, and it's going to tell that person that you thought about them and that you value what they've done for you.
For sure. And it puts people in a position to want to help you more when you are sincere and really care about their outcome.
Nice. All right. So let's take some action.
All right. Jen said, I just bought pour spouts. They aren't the usual ones I sell, so I debated sending them back. Maybe I'll give them out for referrals. I love it.
Yeah. I would include like a little handwritten card and just kind of give that context.
Right.
As to,
thank you for your referral. Yeah. Anything that, again, puts you in that position.
Thank you for pouring on the love.
Oh, write that down, Jen.
There you go. I'm available for hire, everyone.
That's right. That's actually, wow. That actually gave
that's
me
why Julie's like, that's why she's here.
That's right.
So glad I pulled her in off the streets 5 years ago.
Aren't y'all glad? She wasn't in the streets, but
I was close.
She's here. So you can think of something, take that as inspiration for whatever your business is, because puns and like those just things like that really stick with people make such an impression. So, thank you, Sharice.
That was sweet. Casey said, I sent handwritten note cards as thank yous after my first transaction with my client and the team. She's a transaction coordinator. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be.
And Casey, she replied to an email yesterday or the day before that was just a stock email that she was so happy to be in our sphere and that she has found us. I think she found us through a Facebook ad or a post. So
yeah, we're so glad you're here.
I remember that she messaged us and we get a lot of emails. So that is building connections. That is the art of, we haven't sold anything to Casey. We're not necessarily trying to sell anything to Casey. We're leading with value. And I love when you people reply back to us, it makes us like want to show up and do more. So that's how this works.
For sure. We're so glad you're here, Casey. Thanks for showing up. All right. So here's your six action items. These are, I guess I should have put a number, but each one of them corresponds with the previous 6 and just kind of rewords it into a thought-provoking question. In what way are you most comfortable asking directly for referrals? And you decide that, and then go back to that number 1 and customize that little template to match your business and get going. Exactly. Today. Send out 2 referral requests.
Yep. So this is take action training. So this is something that you're going to do. And again, when you get the win from doing it, makes you want to do it again and again and again. And then you've got a great, strong business. So, and it becomes a habit. Okay. Oh, Deanne's doing it today. And thank you, Savita. All right. So pick one or a couple again, pick what resonates with you the most and try it first. You can always mix it up later, but choose one. All right. What value content can I post with a referral CTA? So we talked about CTAs. You know, a CTA is a call to action. So if it's some kind of supporting document, some supporting article, I mean, think about, this is about referrals, but again, in the sales cycle, when you take the time to literally send someone an article, I thought you might enjoy this, blah, 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 with a call to action, like that can be so powerful. So think about how you can work that in, with your request.
Yep. So which projects do you have in process? Is there any opportunity? Is there someone who just came back and they gave you some great feedback from your initial discovery call or whatever it is that is the first part of your process? Then go to them and go ahead and let them know that you're ready to serve. You're available to serve more.
Exactly.
Sorry, I was reading this message.
I know it's hard to do both and then read ahead. All right. So how can I make referral requests personal to me? Okay. Again, when you're leading with value, it's going to be personal to you and them. So it really needs to be personal to them. Whatever outreach you do needs to highlight, because you were listening in the sales cycle, you were listening to what the customer's need was, whether it be that you saw a post that, something worked for them, or you noticed that, for us, it would be that you noticed that their social media has been banging lately, or popping, as Savita would correct me. So, but lead with something that you noticed about them and make it personal to you and them and your relationship, because sales is a relationship.
For sure. So we talked a little bit about this one, but think about where you are right now in how you can offer these little incentives or these little small gifts. Is it something that's possible? You might be writing here, no, Jess, all I can afford is a handwritten thank you card. That's fine. That's fine. But put that here and let that be part of your strategy going forward, where you send, well, that would be a way to recognize, I guess. So let's back up. Maybe it is a very small, like $5, even a $5 Starbucks card. Those can be so effective. I used to send those out like confetti. I used to throw them around like confetti, even though, I was in direct sales. So my profit margin was not that huge, but it was all about volume and getting that repeat sale. So just think about what small gifts you can do, what small incentives you can offer.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be, it can be something that, it doesn't have to be something that costs money. It can be like we talk about freebies, in your thing. It could be a checklist of how to go to the next level. It can be, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things.
Swag.
It can be swag. Yep. We're going to work on our swag.
We are.
So if you're service based, again, that handwritten thank you, along with something off of your next order. I'd have
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
And then that last one we did talk about, and I already kind of accidentally recovered it again. Something handwritten, quick. Not necessarily easy, but it doesn't take that much time, and it just shows that much thought. So,
and it is a big deal when people get something that's actually took the time. They actually take note. So,
for sure. So Hilda's thinking of asking for the referral as a way to enter. So everyone who gives a referral will get entry into a gift card raffle. That's a great way to do it, and that's a great way to offer a higher priced product, because you may have 10 people who will give you a referral, and that way that maybe the gift card can be $25 instead of giving out 10 $5 gift cards. Because I think I would give someone a referral for entry for a $25 Starbucks gift card.
Sure.
So
Savita says she's getting a short video expressing her gratitude. Video is super powerful. So I love that. So I do that a lot, not asking for the referral, but I get so many comments because I'll take the time to record a quick screen share or whatever and answer the person, in a video. And they're like, oh my gosh, you took time to, so that's a big deal. So I love that.
Exactly. All right. Are you ready, Julie?
Ready.
We've been busy. Who scrolled ahead? Who knows what's coming? Ta-da! We knew this was going to be a good one. We've known this was going to be a good one, which is why it's October. And we're just now getting
quarter.
through it.
But it's fourth quarter. Yeah. We've got to finish strong.
So
everyone's got to get with it.
Exactly. So we have put together a a very value-packed toolkit that has our patented step-by-step process. It's not actually patented, but it's really great for, if you feel like this has kind of been enough or been a good to get the juices going, but you need more, this toolkit is here for you. Yes, drum roll, Savita. Mm-hmm. I love reading the chat. But yeah, we have a new toolkit out. You guys are the first ones to hear about it. We'll be sending out an email later. And these toolkits are just ramping up. It's kind of exciting. Everything, now that we're a 4-person team, everything that we're able to accomplish here at Socially Inclined that we have been having to put on the back burner. So these things are actually getting done. And we know that everyone who gets their hands on this toolkit is going to get a lot of value from it. And yes, that says 30 tried and true referral ideas.
Exactly. So, but if you're not in a position to be, yes, only $19, but if you're not in a position, this TAT should spur you to take action to be able to ask for a referral, get that sales cycle going. And then later on, you can come back and purchase this because it's got so many other ideas. So we don't want to feel like you have to have this, because you can certainly take action with what you just learned and make it happen. The art is in the follow-up. The art is in the ask.
For sure. And yes, Savita. So Julie, remind me, where is the design team on her finance bundle?
It is probably a few weeks out.
Yeah, I know we're getting a Mind, Body, Spirit one is coming to fruition, and a Mompreneur one is coming to fruition. And I would say that after
coaching.
that,
life coaching, and yes.
Sorry, Savita. If it was up to me, it would be done tomorrow.
I have to look at it.
Yeah,
so it is. There. So we do have something, Savita. I just need to look at it and see if it's Savita impressive. So
exactly.
Debbie's been working on it.
Jen bought it. Jen, you are the best.
You'll notice that we had to take fast action on this ourselves. So it will go into. You'll be able to access this. It's on a thank you page now. You will be able to access this in the academy. So you're going to be able to download it now. But if you ever lose it, you can go back and download it again later. So Debbie with the Y. That's right.
Thank you for all the love. Y'all are awesome. Dawn, thank you for that. Yes, we definitely try.
Yep. We want y'all to, we thrive off of hearing feedback and you going forth and just doing something and coming back. We get so many of those. I'd love for those to be showcased in the group more. So y'all go get a win and come back to the group and spur other people on. We all can, succeed. So
for sure. Oh, thank you, Sarah.
That's awesome. All right.
Perfect. Well, this was a good one. This was definitely a meaty one. And this is one of those that, it can be a 4-figure difference in your bottom line in just a few months if you start working on referrals now.
Oh, awesome, Savita. Awesome. You'll do great.
Aw, you're from Fairhope. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm in
You're
Orange
up
Beach.
Julie's way. Yeah.
Who? I can't see.
The operator.
Oh, Nice. You're just down the road from me.
Smooth operator. All right.
All right. So everyone figure out a way to ask for a referral today. If you're not successful with the first one, you need to have a goal of getting the first one. So how many ever it takes to get the first one. All right.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Be watching your emails. We will be in touch there, and make sure you join us. Copy and questions will happen this week. Thank you for being patient with us as we get ready to unveil our exciting and unprecedented partner program.
That's right. So we're going to ask for some referrals, and you're going to make money.
Yeah, we're going to pay you for referrals. We'll be talking more about that Thursday.
That's right.
So we'll see you there.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.